What's up, guys, and welcome to Radio Controlled Adventure. This is going to be a look and run of my Traxxas X-Maxx. This is the latest X-Maxx, the one with the belted tires, and this thing is an absolute beast, which I'm sure you already know. It's entirely stock, except for a few minor additions in 3D printed parts that I could find in an attempt to just beefing it up a little bit. So obviously, as you can see here, I've got a roof-mounted skid rack on the top here, which is pretty nice. It 3D prints very well. This is in PLA, and it has the Traxxas logo in there. You use some M4 hardware, and it mounts up real nice. We've got some 3D printed side rails there to replace the factory ones. There was nothing wrong with the factory rails. I just decided to do these to kind of color match to the other parts I was putting on, and since this is the red one, I wanted some red side rails. And also just in an attempt to keep the original ones as clean as possible. And you know, with these 3D printed parts, one of the benefits of having 3D printed parts is that you can just print new 3D printed parts. So if you go over hard on your roof and you ding up your your skid rack up here, which, you know, this one's been used a little bit, it's been upside down a couple times, I just print a new one, and it costs, you know, probably less than 25 cents worth of plastic to print something, to always have new fresh parts. So I'm always on the lookout for newly available 3D printed parts for my remote control cars, just because it adds an extra level of customization and optimization. Everything else on this truck is stock. I also have these 3D printed shock guards in all four corners, which are pretty cool. They'll just protect from, you know, getting pelted with rock or something, and help prevent, you know, the wear of the anodization on the shock bodies. I'm running these, I believe they're 5200 milliamp hard case Z-Packs. They seem to work very well. I got them on Amazon. I think the pair of them was maybe $100 or so, and I'm just running, I believe, an IC5 to Traxxas adapter, so that it's compatible and I don't have to change any wiring or anything like that. So other than that, there's nothing special about this X-Maxx other than it's mine. I love the X-Maxx. It is the only large scale or fifth or sixth scale vehicle that I have, and it's a completely different animal. It really is. You got to be careful with it because it's a lot of weight that's moving around very quickly. So you got to be conscious about what you're doing around other vehicles or people or pets. But it's absolutely awesome. All right, let's take it for a run. So like I said, this is fairly brand new to me. I got this probably about a month ago. I've probably have a couple hours of running on it. Maybe half a dozen to a dozen packs through it. So far, absolutely love it. This is the biggest RC that I have had to date. The only 6th scale that I have. Completely different experience than running, you know, a 10th class or a 10th scale rather. It's pretty awesome. The size and the way that it handles. It's about to storm here, if you can hear the thunder in the background. Man, this thing has the juice. It's got so much power. Let's get up here on the road and give it a run. A little wobbly. I love running this rougher section of the driveway with this thing. It's just, it eats everything right up. No trouble. Just turning around. It's a little tight trying to stay on the driveway. All right, we're back up here on the road. Just wanted to prove that this thing can go in a straight line without wobbling itself to death. Earlier, I just forgot to turn down the Traxxas stability management, which if you do not turn that down, it'll start wobbling itself to death. So now with that down, you can see it runs just fine up here. Oh, I think I hit the low voltage cutoff.